All right, what up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, Jeannie, and you already know what it is. So let's just get into the energy. Virgo, today's reading is crazy. Okay, the numbers 211 have been haunting me all day. Okay, so first of all, the overall song for today is 211. Okay, I started this reading at 11:02, 11:20, which is 211 backwards. And then when I looked up the angel number 211, it talks about light and change. Let's get into it because this is just crazy. It's just crazy. Okay. So, first of all, there's some type of universal change that's going on. Okay. We're going to see quite literally a new earth arising from the old earth. Okay. And they're showing me this using the Ice Age movies. I don't know if anybody has seen the Disney Ice Age movies, but it's very prevalent for what's going on at this time. They've been talking about continental drifts. They've been talking about floods. They've been talking about volcano eruptions. They've been talking about the alignment of the stars, okay, and the alignment of the world creating a giant drift or a separation. And this giant drift or separation has is going on a big scale and a smaller scale. So there's literal continental drifts happening at this time, but there's also economic drifts, okay? Citizen drifts, all right? So there's more people leaning more on their intuition, their spirituality than the normal government politics type thing. There's going to be a drift in our communities, in our everyday life on a small scale and a big scale. All right. The one that they're talking about heaviest is the governmental scale. Okay. So the government is doing things to create more of a wage gap between the the higher paying and the lower paying. And when God was showing me this, he showed me the anger and the pain and the hatred and the fear that it's causing for the lower class to watch the higher class wage gap get bigger. But then when I was watching it, the words, the meek shall inherit the earth, came in. Okay. Bible verses started flowing in, talking about how God is strong where we are weak. So during this continental drift, during this political drift, during this economic drift, Virgo, the divine wants you to remain solid. They want you to realize that this gap, this drift that will impact you is going to be used for your greater good. Okay? Because when we become the meek, he can step in and become the strong. When things are going on outside of our control, that's when God can step in, you know, and put the last to be first. So right now we're going to see a lot of us become last. All right, you're going to notice a lot of gapping and cutting off segregation. There it is, 333. You're going to notice a lot of segregation. And this has nothing to do with color anymore. Although people of color will be especially impacted, all people will be impacted. It has to do with your classes. It has to do economically. It has to do with our government. It has to do with the literal earth. And there's going to be a process in which we become last. We become the meek. We become the weak. We become the afflicted. But this is all being done purposely in order for the divine to step in. Okay, during the pre-shuffle, adaptability came out. It says the dragonfly is a symbol of light and change. 211 is also a symbol of change. Okay, it is reminding you to bring a little more lightness and joy into your life in order to bring the changes needed to reach your full potential. Approach things lightly. Okay, and then underneath that, transition. There's some type of transition, drift, change going on in all areas of life. And it's going to bring corruption to the forefront. Okay. And we are all going to be underneath corruption. We're all going to be underneath deception, lies. Okay, we're gonna all be suffering from some type of corruption. But once the masses start suffering from the corruption, everybody starts to see the corruption. So this has to happen in order for people to be tuned into it, because there's people out here who do not see what's going on politically. They do not see the continental universal changes that's going on. They're not affected by it. They don't see it. But the more people who are affected, the more people who see it. And this is going to bring about some type of change. So know that things will get worse before things get better. Look at this: corruption, and then the Garden of Eden. Okay? The Garden of Eden is representing the world, what we are entitled to, what we should have had. Okay? Everything in life should be free. We should be able to live off the resources of the land freely. But the government has corrupted that. They made it so we had to fight to survive. 555. They made it so we had to work to survive. They made it so they have dictatorship over the Garden of Eden. So, to show how corrupt certain people have made the world to be, there needs to be a continental drift. Okay? There needs to be spiritual work being done in the folds of the universal fabric. There needs to be secrets shown. Okay? There needs to be a point where your enemies oppress you, so then that God and the universe can step in and turn those enemies into your footstool. But before they can become your footstool, they have to be your enemy. And if you don't know that they are your enemy, this can't happen. So what I'm trying to say is there's some type of change going on in which corruption will be prevalent in the streets, easy for everyone to see. And it is not to scare you. Of course, it's going to oppress you. Of course, it's going to make you the last. Of course, it's going to turn you into the meek. But this is how tables can turn. Because once everybody realizes, and once all the secrets are out about how these enemies have tried to corrupt the world, we can then take our power back from these enemies and make them our footstools. This is the road opener. Okay? But it all starts with divine intervention. And this is what you're being told. Okay? They need enough people to wish and hope and pray against corruption. But if you're not awake to the corruption, you're not going to pray against it. If you're not up on politics and what's going on, you don't even know it's not affecting you. If some type of drift doesn't spotlight the corruption, we won't know that it's corrupt. And there won't be enough people wishing and praying for the overthrow of our oppressors. And this is what's happening at this time. Pressure. Pressure is causing a drift. Economically, spiritually, mentally. Pressure is causing oppression. Economically, spiritually, physically, mentally. And it's so that the collective starts praying for the divine intervention against the people who are stealing our money, our time. But some of us have mixed signals. We have idle minds and we pray for more money. We pray for the suppression of the problem instead of the fixing of the problem. So things have to get worse in order to wake people up, to get them out of this mixed signal energy, to get them out of this idle mind energy, so that we have the collective power, the collective mind power, the collective mindset of overthrowing our oppressors. Because a lot of us right now, we're idle to it. We're used to living in it. We're okay with it. We've learned how to survive in the environment, and we stopped praying against our oppressors and we started praying for survival in oppression. And that is the exact opposite thing that they need you to do to overthrow your oppressors. So a lot of us will get oppressed. A lot of us will be turned into the meek. A lot of us will experience things because of things that are happening. And it's all to get the collective focus. Okay? There's too many idle minds stuck in the mud of the folds of the universe. There's too many idle minds stuck in survival mode, coming up with bright ideas to tread water in this drowning first world problems, pushing to the back of their mind what they really want and just creating families and oppression, and then being hit by the oppression. And then you wonder why earth and why life is so difficult. It's because we've gotten used to surviving in corruption. And a lot of us is going to get a premonition that there has to be a better way than to survive an oppression. And this is the type of thing that throws the odds in our favor so that we don't repeat the history of how the world has been, but we refine it. Communication from the angels. This is the energy, Virgo. This is the energy, and a lot of you are not ready for it. A lot of you are not ready for it. You're not even focused on what's going on. You're just focused on surviving. So since you're so okay with surviving in corruption, there's about to be a lot more corruption to make you uncomfortable, to make you start praying against your oppressors again, to make you start demanding what you deserve, to make you riot. Yes, to make you stand up, to make you fight against it instead of trying to survive in it. And this is about to happen in a crazy way, Virgo. 11:11 on the clock. This is about to happen to you in a crazy way, but you're getting communication from your angels that this is the exact thing that needs to happen. The gardener, in order to prune and trim the world, okay, into divine alignment. Whew! Let's get into it, y'all. The energy is crazy. So expect large changes, okay? Expect big changes to be happening. All right. There's something about subways that's been significant. Subways, trains, locomotives. Okay. I'm still picking up on Friday the 13th. I don't know what's going to happen on Friday the 13th, but shit's going to pop off. Okay. There's something here about no strings attached. Keep it cool. Now we're getting into the song of the day. 211. Okay. That's crazy. The song of the day, 211, Virgo, it talks about no strings attached and keeping it real. 112:11 when I said that. So at this time, Spirit wants you to not be attached to anything. The only thing you should be attached to is your family, and knowing, even then, knowing that attachment has is God who's controlling that. So even if you're attached to your family members and the people that you love, Virgo, you ultimately give the trust and the faith that God is going to protect you, and anything done against your family is for your highest good. And when you start looking at things like that, you have less of an attachment to the oppression that is about to happen to you. Okay. This is going to be global. It's going to be worldwide. All right. But it's just pressure to wake people up. So Spirit wants you not to be attached to these things. Okay. To keep it cool. These are all lyrics of the 211 song. Okay. That I picked up on earlier. It says, so sweet, so real, know exactly what she got, highest frequency. So at this time, whatever oppression, whatever things that are happening to you is to curb your emotional attachment to things of this earth. All right. And it's to make sure that you can stay in a high frequency, that you can stay sweet and real under problematic energy, under pressure. Okay. There's also something about like the ice age that's significant. Okay. There's something here about the ice. Okay, I've been picking up on the ice melting and it releasing frozen creatures. Okay. They're showing me the steps of evolution in uh animals coming up out of the water, evolving out of the water, Virgo. And there's going to be frozen ice that releases carcasses. All right. And then there's going to be animals in the sea that eats these carcasses. And those animals that eat those carcasses will produce, they're showing me volcanic particles. Okay. They're showing me volcanic creatures devouring the flesh of frozen, preserved, extinct animals. and those creatures be a way of expelling and reproduction, mixing with volcanic energy at the bottom of the ocean, Virgo. And then they're showing me these things being eaten by animals in the regular ocean. And those animals that eat the flesh particles of those dead things that are being thawed and dropped into the ocean will then carry it in their DNA. And over time of reproducing, okay, the animals who eat those particles who reproduce will then create new life. Okay, so we're about to see new animals, Virgo. We're about to witness new species. There's something about extinction, becoming extinct. All right, there's something about reproduction from preserved animals. There's something about the bank of preserved animals reproducing extinct animals. I'm talking about dinosaurs, woolly mammoths. I'm talking about things we haven't heard of in a long time. There are banks. They keep calling them banks. I'm 1616 on the clock. This is all intuitively being downloaded. So bear with me. I know I'm not, the best at explaining these things. I'm just understanding. I'm just trying to explain my downloads the best way that I can. They're showing me banks of animals where they have collected and preserved every known species of animals on Earth. And they're showing me the Frankenstein energy of people awakening dormant animals. Okay. And these dormant animals, in order to survive, they need a certain type of environment. So when we awaken these dormant animals, they're going to realize that they can't survive without creating the environment in which to keep them alive. Okay. And the awakening of dormant animals is awakening the universe to change to support those new lives. So there's going to be some type of worldly change that is going to bring back abundance. It's going to bring back other species. It's going to bring back the environmental conditions of the past that was suitable to these past creatures. And what they're showing me is that whoever has been playing with the fabric of Earth, okay? Whoever has been playing with species and creating creatures and awakening dormant things, whatever you are doing, those scientists who are out in the Arctic collecting dormant animals in the ice, okay? Whoever y'all are awakening species, you are also fucking with the fabric of the world, okay? And now the world has to change just based on the melting of ice, okay? Because they're showing me people digging into glaciers and these glaciers falling apart, okay? And the more that the glaciers fall apart, they change the fabric of the world, okay? It's causing almost like the ooh, I'm losing it. It's causing not deforestation. It's causing warming of the world. What's that called? They're okay. So the glaciers were keeping the world a certain temperature, right? And whoever's over there fucking with the Arctic, okay, fucking with the ice is messing with the world, okay? And it's going to start with a flood and then drifts and then volcanoes, and it's going to start creating a new world in which they change like the atmosphere. Anyways, whoever's doing that is also fucking with the fabric of the world, and they could actually be the ones who are causing the continental drifts and the weather changes All right. And whoever these people are, this is your confirmation that whatever you're doing to change the world was a part of divine alignment. And these people may be thinking that what they're doing will destroy other countries or destroy something, but it's actually going to be used for universal favor. Okay? Let's get into it. Let's get into it, Virgo. 20 minutes of talking, y'all. All right. These downloads have been crazy. I don't know what's about to happen, but buckle the fuck up. We have Jaguar. It says growth. It says maturity is the ability to embrace change. Y'all, heavy on the change energy. And change cannot happen without death. Y'all, this is what I have been saying. There needs to be a change. The oppressors of the world needs to be overthrown. But to get them overthrown, we have to change. There has to be death with us. We have to become the last. We have to become under oppression. Okay? It says death does not necessarily mean physical death, but it could be the ending of relationship situations or simply you deciding to not continue with the same old habit. There has been a bunch of people in this world with the same habit of learning how to survive under oppression instead of overthrowing our oppressors. And the universe is mad. It's almost like they have lulled us to sleep to the corruption. And then we have manifestation. It says you weave your web in life. What you see before you is a result of your thoughts. What we see before us is the result of our actions. We have allowed oppressors to get away with oppression, so we're going to get oppressed. Okay, they've said this is what happens when you choose a king, when you choose a president, when you choose a human to rule the world. We get oppressed. Okay, this is turning people away from choosing governmental control into choosing God. Okay, and letting God have control and knowing that we are God and that we are in control. Yeah, it says if the current reality does not suit you, then it is time to make change. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Through conscious manifestations, your energy can bring all that you desire. Lord have mercy, Virgo. This is exactly what I have just said over and over again. They have lulled us to sleep with corruption via way of our conscious minds. We are no longer conscious of the corruption. We're just surviving in it. And they need a lot more corruption to pressure us into consciously waking up, knowing that we are choosing to have the government in control, knowing that we are choosing to be slaves, knowing that we are choosing to survive under oppression instead of bringing your energy to what you desire. And to get you to desire the right thing, they got to give you the wrong thing, Virgo. So this is what you're about to see. This is what's going on in the world. But God wants you to know, Spirit wants you to know, your ancestors and guides wants you to know that they want you to be lighthearted and know that this is for the greater good. It's for growth. It's so that your manifestations can weave your reality instead of their oppressors weaving our reality. Let's get back into it. This read's not going to be for everybody. Half of you, this is going to go over your head. You're going to click out of this video. You won't even know what I'm talking about. And those are those types of people who need the most oppression to wake them up. Yeah, some people out there are just dumb. They won't even know what I'm talking about. And because I can't explain it scientifically, they won't even give me the time or the day to try to explain my downloads. They'll just hear me and think that I'm crazy and click off the video. And this is not their message. Okay, they're gonna need a whole lot more oppression before they can wake up to it, Virgo. But the ones who are understanding what I'm talking about, please leave a 211 comment down below. Go look up the angel number 211 and know that whatever is going on is for your greater good. All right, learn how to vibe with it, to flow with it, Virgo. We have unexpected money. A lot of you could be getting unexpected money at this time, divine feminine. It could be up to $1 million. Okay, or you can This is giving me the energy of unexpected abundance to the divine people. Okay? So there's some type of drift or wage gap. There's some type of economic gap happening because there's people who need our energy, our money, our time, our oppression to stay in control. So they try to get the abundant people of the world to get caught up in soul ties. Okay, soul tie cravings, lust, money, family, houses. These are the things that distract us from our true nature. We get so caught up in societal cravings and ties that they weave the fabric of our world instead of us weaving it. Yeah, and there's about to be a change. 25:55 on the clock. There's about to be a change. You will no longer want those things. You will no longer care about working, care about all of it's all just a distraction. And it's about to be shown to you intuitively. Here we go again. Okay. The same cards are popping out. There is some type of secrets being shown. Okay. There's some type of corruption being brought to the forefront. And this is causing for a lot of spiritual work to be done. Okay. A lot of people are going through shadow periods in order to wake them up, Virgo. All right. And all you have to do is achieve love at the highest vibration, which is crazy. Highest frequencies, and we all know the highest frequency is love, Virgo. So there's some type of shadow work being done in order for you to focus more on being love at the highest vibration. So instead of focusing on career, family, boyfriend, girlfriend, sex, food, money, everything that's going on in the world, whatever secret is going on, Virgo, all they need you to do is focus your vibration. Focus on elevating your vibration, meditation, clearing your aura, relaxation, doing things that make you happy and that make you feel love. Okay? These will help you in your manifestations of what you desire. So no matter what's going on or what's being shown to you, all you have to do is focus on your vibration. Okay? And there is shadow work pushing you to focus on your vibration. What's this secret energy for the collective, Virgo? Blood don't make you family. Woo! There's something here about oh my gosh. There's something here about blood banks. Hmm. There's something here about like your blood type, a blood type here, Virgo. Vampires as well. Mm. What's before I say something, last one, they gave me a lot. The record shows, and without a shadow of a doubt, I'm telling you, there's some type of record, a bank, a blood bank, a secret bank, without a shadow of a doubt, planted objects. Yeah, there's some type of secret bank here, Virgo. I just heard of extinct people. They're showing me in Futurama when they had all those heads in jars being preserved, preserving brains. They're showing me the Futurama jars of talking heads. Oh my gosh. Blood records here again. Something about a blood bank. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's time, evidence. There's some type of secret about blood types, blood. They're giving me DNA now. There's some type of secrets about our DNA that there's record of. And these secrets about our DNA is about to be exposed. They're showing me a governmental facility in which they have record of what we can do, what's in our DNA. They're showing me the study of our DNA. They're showing me Asians. Okay. They're showing me, I have nothing against Asians, y'all. They're showing me Asian people studying people of color. Okay. I don't know what that's about. But irregardless of the race or what's going on and what they're showing me, these are all just intuitive downloads, Virgo. There is some type of secret about our DNA that they have record of without a shadow of a doubt. And they have been planting it in our environment to show us. Domino effect, an ancestor battle. This is to help some type of ancient battle that has been going on against our oppressors. There's something about knowledge of our DNA being recorded in a bank, causing extinction. Because if we don't know who we are, the powers and things that we have in our DNA will go extinct because we're not using it. But there are multiple people who have awoken to their spiritual powers. And like a domino effect, they're awakening other people. The world is also awakening you via way of pressure. All right? Things are about to go downhill with the domino effect. Things are about to fall over, drift, okay? Things are about to separate, get knocked down. And this is all a part of some type of ancient ancestral battle in which our oppressors had unmitigated access to human extinction, existence. Ooh, shit. I didn't even mean to say that. Human extinction. Wow. For years on my channel, I have been picking up on lab created humans mixing with normal humans. And over time, we have become more of an alien DNA instead of the original aboriginal DNA. And there are real aboriginal humans that are being brought together to create real to create real human DNA families. And these families are way more powerful than the non-man made humans. All right, okay. Parables and lessons here. All right, they're showing me this in the weirdest way. They're showing me alien DNA being created in a lab, like some type of Frankenstein motherfucking experiments. And these Frankenstein people being integrated with normal people. And over time, there's less aboriginal people and more man made humans. And the aboriginals are being brought together to create families, to keep some type of bloodline going, the bloodline of real humans, because they are trying to make real humans extinct, because the people who were lab created do not have our powers to ascend, Virgo. They don't have spiritual powers. So there's blood spiritual people, and then there's man-made non-spiritual people. And there is a battle between real humans and man-made humans, y'all. And the man-made humans have become our oppressors because they're afraid of our magic. Okay? They're afraid of our spirituality. They're afraid of our powers, what we can do, because we are connected, interdimensionally connected to the universe. And the universe is trying to show the people who have a connection with it that there is a difference between lab created people and aboriginal humans that were connected and I have always been connected to the world, to the universe. And when those aboriginal people start crying out to the universe responds. The universe responds with continental drifts. They respond with volcanic eruptions. They respond in natural disasters. When the aboriginal people are in distress, the folds of the world respond to it. So they have been trying to make us extinct so that they can control the world. But not only is the world fighting back, Virgo, but they're showing us and waking us, the real ones, the real humans. Okay, not all of us have consciousness out here. Not all of us are connected to spirit and truth. All right, not all of us have real DNA. Some of us, okay, some of you have foreign DNA, foreign structures that is not connected to the fabric of the universe, but through unmitigated access to the human DNA, the non-human people have begun oppressing our ascension. And they think that they will cause extinction to the spiritual human. But what they're about to find out is that when you put pressure on the aboriginals, they start to shine. When you make the divine people, the meek, the oppressed, they cry out to the universe and the universe responds, putting them back in power. And this is exactly what is about to happen universally. Okay? The Aboriginal people are under distress. The Aboriginal people are made to be the meek, made to be the last, made to suffer. And when we start crying out, Virgo, the universe will respond and crown us. Where we are weak, God can be strong. The meek shall inherit the earth because the earth was made for us. There has been a foreign alien creature that has been taking over the world. And they really think that they can cause human extinction, not knowing no matter how much they oppress us, they will never gain control of the world. The world would rather open up and swallow these people into the folds of the universe before it gives up, before it dies. There's a consciousness in the world that is fighting back against the foreign alien humans. And we're seeing this all over, Virgo, all over in our politics, in the economic parts of the world, Virgo, in our society, down to your community, down to your family, your blood. You're going to notice that some of these people are not connected to spirit and truth. You're going to notice that some of your family members do not have consciousness. You're going to notice the robots, Virgo. And the people who really wake up to the folds of the world, the reality of the world, they get called crazy. They get locked away in mental institutions, but we're not going to go that far. Okay. What I'm telling you is the oppression of the real humans is coming to an end, but things are going to get a lot worse before it gets better. All right. They just need you to know by the end of this battle, you're going to be on top. By the end of the continental drift, you will be the one in power. So I don't know who's out here who's collecting. They're showing, they at first they showed me whoo shit. At first, they showed me the animal bank, Virgo, but we are animals. We are the real animals, the real mammoths, not mammoths, the real mammals that are aboriginal to this earth. And there are banks, there are blood banks, there are species banks. Okay. Oh, this video, y'all share this video because they're not gonna want this information out there. Okay, I'm just saying, share it all over, tell your friends. Virgo, there are banks of humans, of deceased people, in which they have preserved them on ice. Okay? And there are people who are recreating humans without subconsciousness, but there also are groups of people who are creating conscious people by recreating the DNA used from the aboriginal man. This is the craziest shit I have ever been shown in my entire life. I do not know what to do with this information, but to talk about it. There is a scientific experiment going on in which they're pulling thawed organs, thawed body parts of Aboriginal people and creating real human beings. And then there is a science experiment in which they are creating people without the right DNA. Okay. And when they are creating people without the right DNA, and then they're pushing these people out into the world to procreate, to destroy the real Aboriginal DNA. But they're doing this because when they recreated the Aboriginal man, they got proof and evidence without a shadow of a doubt that these people were planted objects on the earth. Woo! These people were planted objects. It's like the earth birthed these people. And this is why the Big Bang Theory, this is why there's so much controversy. This is why there's so much controversy, y'all. This is why there's so many problems around the evolution of the human being. Okay, that's why there's so much speculation, because there are ones who did evolve out of the water. They're showing me the process of little microscopic volcano creatures pooping and that being eaten by fish, and fish being eaten by something, and it coming out and evolving into something walking up out of the water. There are Aboriginal humans who were made from the folds in the fabric of the earth. And then there are planted humans. Okay, there is a huge difference. And there is some group of people who know the difference because they have pulled up the Aboriginal man, and they have, without a shadow of a proof of doubt, that these people are connected to the fabrics of the universe. So to confuse us, they have been spreading bots to slowly take away our spiritual DNA inheritance, Virgo. But there are some people, some special people who have been saved and preserved. And now you're being loosed to find other real Aboriginal people to create the bloodline in which can never be deceased. It can never go into extinction. That thing will always be revived. Whether that's the thawing of the ocean, recreating the process of evolution over a long period of time, or the Aboriginal people finding themselves in other people and reproducing families. that ascend past other families, creating a separation, a segregation between the real and the fake. And there's a lot of fake people who know our power. They know how powerful we are, and they're trying to oppress us, thinking that they can cause human extinction and the takeover of non-humans. But I have a word for you. Okay? That's never going to happen. and the world ensures that it's never going to happen. The universe will fight back, whether they have to create more aboriginal people through the process of evolution, or they work with the real ones who are connected to the world and bring them together through spiritual enlightenment. They will overthrow you alien maggots who think you can control the world. You're about to see how the world can use real aboriginal people to overthrow you, no matter how much oppression you put us under, no matter how much you make us the last, how much you make us the meek, how much you confuse us, how much you keep our knowledge from us. No matter what you do, it ain't gonna work. There's fools out here thinking that you're smarter than the world, thinking that you're smarter than the universe when the universe created you. This is crazy. They're giving me the parable of the Bible, Virgo, how God created all of us, and then God's creation trying to come back against God, and that's why we had fallen angels, Virgo. That's where Lucifer came in, because he fought back against his creator, and this is exactly what's happening in the world. The world created us. The world created this non-human alien species as well. And now they're trying to come and overthrow their creator. Silly bitch. This is how history repeats itself. This is why the Bible is so prevalent. Only retarded people do not understand the parables and the lessons inside of the Bible and how they're playing out in modern time. Literally, the world's creation is coming against the world. Like the world didn't create you, it could destroy you. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. Temperance. It's just a matter of time. Again, divine alignment, divine timing. We're going to see planetary alignments aligning up with natural disasters, Virgo. We're going to see planetary alignments lining up with great changes that is happening in the world. This is like a constellation being seen on the same day that something crazy happens universally. These are all signs of divine alignment. And furthermore, there are people who think that they have control over the world. That's going to be shown that whatever they're doing is a part of divine alignment. There's some people who really think they're coming up with original ideas. Okay, there's real people who are corrupt. Okay, who think that they have the original idea to come against the world. But this has been happening over and over again. Nothing and no thought that you are having is a fucking original. And there's people who think that they're doing stuff in secret and that they're coming up with new ways to change the world. And it is also divine alignment. And God and the universe will use your wicked plans for its benefit. Yet you think it's original. You think you a mad scientist on some Frankenstein shit. You think, oh, I'm stronger. I'm God. I'm creating life. I'm tampering with life, not knowing that those thoughts were put inside of you by the universe, you dummy. Some of these people really think they're evil geniuses, not knowing that they're fighting against creation, the thing that created them to be an evil genius. You dummy. Anyways, this is just what they're showing me. I can't even explain. It's even going over my level of comprehension and my ability to express to you what I'm receiving at this time. It's that big, Virgo. There's people who have more knowledge than me, who think they're smarter than me, but don't know the universe can give me downloads in a way that I can understand what they're doing and the outcome. But they can't even they're not even smart enough to see that. They just think they out here evil geniuses and shit. Anyways, Temperance and the Five of Wands. We have Justice, the Judgment, the Eight of Wands, and the Two of Pentacles, y'all. This is exactly what I have been talking about. The Sun card. Look at all these major arcanas. This is exactly what I've been talking about. Temperance to the Five of Wands. Heavy Sagittarius energy coming in here. Also, the Temperance is an angel. Divine timing, alignment as well for some type of conflict to balance the scales, okay? To bring about some type of judgment, which is extinct things coming back to life. Y'all don't even know how, I don't even know how deep this reading is going, but it's so deep that I can't even look. 12 to 11. Again, to 11 is very significant. I don't even know how to explain this in the right way, Virgo, but there is some type of divine conflict that is going to enact some type of balancing. All right. Whatever balance this brings about will revive something. Judgment is all about revival, resurrection, being brought back from the dead, necromancy. This is the thing that I have been talking about this whole time. Okay. Divine intervention in some type of conflict, in people being resurrected. Okay. Spiritually awoken, spiritually resurrection. And then we have the Eight of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. And whatever is about to take place will be balanced. This is an arrangement, the Sun card. So this divine conflict is to force people to fight for justice, basically. Okay? And this is happening, this conflict that is happening, this is that continental drift I'm talking about. This is that economical wage gap, our healthcare and our whatever politically. This is that Five of Wands. This is all have been ordained to happen at this time, but it's being done under the guise of justice because we are okay with it. So they're going back with being in survival mode under oppression instead of fighting back against our oppression, our oppressors. So there's going to be some type of divine conflict that really is fair because we allow it to be, that is going to wake up our judgment. Okay. So there's some type of action that is really coming in to balance us out, to resurrect us and get us moving in the right direction. The Seven of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. This is what I mean. There's some type of judgment which we think is fair. We accept this as like law and justice and order. And it's like they created us to be complacent with this judgment, just going along and balancing out the theft, the lies, the betrayal that's going on. And with the Queen of Swords to the Knight of Cups, we have adapted to survive. We have adapted to see corruption, theft, bullshit as law and order, as something that we can't fight against, as a good opportunity. This is literally what they're giving me is like our societal norms making us okay with corruption, telling us that it's okay, that all we have to do is be resourceful and that corruption is a good thing. This is like, oh, I found a job. Now I can be happy and live in society because I work my life away to have money in a house. This is the state of human beings, the state of existence. This is what the world wants to show us. The world is shaking us up, moving us around, purging us to show us that we have been complacent to corruption and that we think jobs and houses and all of this shit are good things. Knight of Cups. It's a good offer. It's all that I can create. It's all that I know. This is crazy. The Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. And then the Knight of Wands and the Six of Wands. This is like the energy of financial roller coasters. Unreliable. This is like you think is good. Oh, I solved the problem. I got a job. You think is good. It's not. Right? And then it pushes you to try to be an entrepreneur. The King of Wands to the Six of Wands energy. The Ace of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups. The Hermit in the reverse. This is people, okay? This is people finding footholds, all right? Being able to have their own business. So there's a lot of spiritual people who have found a way to overcome oppression and corruption by getting your own business, right? By making your own business, by creating your own opportunity. But then we have the Queen of Cups to the Hermit in the reverse. This is how you turn away from universal support, y'all. Queen of Cups, because you're open and receiving to the level that they allow us to be on. So there's a cap. This is what I'm talking about. The people in charge have created a cap for humans. And we feed into it trying to survive instead of getting the real help that the universe can offer us. Because like I said, they have created a life in which we're surviving in corruption and we think it's good. We think it's a prize. We think we're successful when we become business owners and when we become entrepreneurs, when we become famous or popular. That's when you started being okay. You don't even have to be famous and popular. When you get a house and you have a family and you're surviving, you're treading water, you think that is success. But in reality, this is the limitations of what humans can do under corruption. And a lot of you have been turning away from the universal help that has been calling you. The real success would be a sustainable farm, you feel me, where you're not under corruption, like a solvent person, somebody who's not under and mandated under law in which they can be stolen from, is subjected to corruption. The real freedom, the real flex, the real power that we have is to live in this world freely. But somehow these people in charge have made it law, have made it legal, have made it a cap, a limitation for us in which we don't get to be free ever. And there's a lot of you who are waking up to what you have, what you have created for yourself is not freedom. It's surviving under corruption. But there has to be a lot of pressure for you to even see that. Because again, a lot of us just think it's law and order. We have this judgment, this mentality that we are under the rule and the thumb of our government and our laws, which have been created to cap us off from our true power, our true nature, right? But some of us have been caught up with societal norms that we turn away from universal help. Six of Cups, how it used to be in the past, the aboriginal, the primitive people who lived freely off land. The Knight of Coins, the Page of Swords. We're slowly being awakened to this. This is the basis of the reading. I'm going to leave it there, Virgo, because I'm going on an hour. Stop playing. 211 just popped up again. I'm going to leave it there, Virgo. But this is what's being shown. There's about to be a growth that happens in the awakening of people going back to primitive time. Y'all remember when I said extinct things will no longer be extinct? Okay? It's the resurrection of extinct ways, primitive ways in which we co-created and lived off the earth the right way, which then the earth could support our life, right? And what's happening is they're fucking with the resources of earth to make it seem like our life isn't being supported, that we aren't free and in control and have the power that we want. And this oppression is slowly waking us up to what has been stolen from us. And things have to get worse for people to start waking up and seeing. Waking up and seeing, and then being dedicated to getting back what was stolen from us, which is our divine right to live freely in the world, y'all. And furthermore, the extinction of human beings. This is crazy. I'm also picking up on nostalgic energy, nostalgic energy for freedom, for space, for nature is about to overthrow us. So the worldly things going on in the world is going to oppress us to the point where we don't want them anymore. Didn't I say that we were given what we didn't want to realize that we didn't want it? We chose leaders, we chose presidents, we chose our political status, we chose laws, we chose order, we chose government instead of God. Six of Cups. And there's a lot of people who are being awakened and shown the limitations in choosing another human being to be your ruler, because they will take our children, they will make us work for them, they will make us slaves. And this is being shown in the modern day. The Bible is playing out modern day. And it's just going over people's heads. So they're going to allow the oppression to keep going, oppress us more and more. Fuck with our health care, fuck with medicine, fuck with our children, mess with our finances. The suppression is going to get more and more and more crazy until we wake up and choose who we want to be our leaders. Until we wake up and choose what reality we want to live in. So prepare for the great awakening, Virgo. It's going to be crazy. This is the energy that I have for you today. All you have to do is work to stay at the highest vibration so that you can be tapped in spiritually on what to do next. If you are a real human being who's connected to spirit and truth, you will be taken care of. You will be guided. You will be shown the way. You will be protected. But if you are not connected to spirit and truth, corruption and pressure is going to get to you. It's going to be a hard, not motherfucking life until you choose who your leader is. Choose who controls you. This is the energy that I have for you, Virgo. If you resonate with anything here, please give me a like, comment below. Share it with your friends. Share this everywhere, because this is the type of information that people don't want to get out there. Okay, so get it out there anyways. I appreciate every single one of you who book readings with me, who donate to my channel, who participate in my channel in any type of way. I really do appreciate and love you, Virgo. Peace.